Have you ever thought about what it means to have the first Asian pope in the history of the Catholic Church? It was a big deal, and the whole world was watching. Pope Tagle, the first Asian pope, spoke to millions with everyone feeling hopeful and excited. His speech was more than just words. It was a symbol of hope. Even though the moment was serious, he stayed calm, and his warm words echoed around the globe. This was the start of a new chapter for the Catholic Church, one filled with love and understanding. Vatican City was shining bright. This small city-state, the heart of the Catholic world, was about to host a historic event that would go down in history. You could feel the buzz in the air as the ancient walls and impressive buildings stood as quiet witnesses to centuries of faith and tradition. St. Peter's Basilica, with its iconic dome reaching for the sky, really showed off the lasting legacy of the Catholic Church. Thousands of people gathered, their faces reflecting awe, excitement, and hope. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the shared anticipation of a moment that many had traveled far to see. Every eye was glued to the grand stage, and every heart was racing, waiting for the new leader of the Catholic Church to appear. Pilgrims came from all over the world to witness this moment. They spoke different languages and came from various places, but they were all united by their faith. The streets of Vatican City were alive with a colorful mix of cultures, each pilgrim bringing their own unique story, hopes, and prayers. It was a true pilgrimage of faith, a journey that crossed borders and united the global Catholic community. For Filipino Catholics, this was a huge moment of pride. Their beloved Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, affectionately known as Chito, was about to take on the highest role in the Catholic Church. The Filipino community, both in the Philippines and around the world, celebrated this historic event with joy and excitement. It was a recognition of their strong faith and the contributions they had made to the global Catholic community. Their Chito was now standing among the people, and there was a real sense of pride and happiness that one of their own had risen to lead the Catholic Church. Cardinal Tagle, often called the shepherd of the Catholic world, was well loved by the faithful for his humility, compassion, and deep understanding of theology. His journey from the Philippines to the Vatican showed his strong faith and commitment to the Church. In the crowd stood a mix of languages and cultures, with flags waving from many countries. People from all walks of life came together in a spirit of unity, showcasing the universal nature of the Catholic Church. It was a powerful reminder of the Church's mission to connect people and build bridges of compassion and understanding. They had all come looking for guidance. In a world that often feels uncertain and chaotic, the faithful turned to their leaders for hope. The new pope was seen as a bright light, a source of strength and comfort, thanks to his kind nature and deep wisdom. When Pope Tagle stepped onto the platform, the crowd fell silent, showing their strong faith and desire for a kinder, more compassionate world through their shared prayers and hopes. There was a pause before this new chapter in the Church's history began, and that silence was more than just quiet. It felt like a collective deep breath. His gentle smile said it all. It was a smile that radiated warmth, kindness, and a real sense of responsibility. The crowd felt reassured, knowing they were in good hands. You could feel the excitement in the air, thick with emotion. Everyone was glued to the new pope, eager to catch his first words. When Pope Tagle finally spoke, it was a moment that carried a lot of weight. His words were wise and full of compassion. He talked about unity, love, and the Church's mission to serve the world, reminding everyone of their shared duty to look out for one another to create a more just and peaceful world. As he addressed the crowd, It was clear that Pope Tagle wasn't just a leader. He was a shepherd, guiding his flock with a gentle touch and a caring heart. His smile said it all, showing his commitment to serving the Church and its members with love and grace. Standing in front of a sea of faces, each representing different struggles and hopes, he kicked off his message with a call for unity. He acknowledged the tough realities of today's world, bringing up issues like poverty, injustice, and the climate crisis. These weren't just abstract ideas, they were real problems affecting millions every day. He painted a vivid picture of the suffering faced by those on the fringes of society, the cries for justice ringing out in the streets, and the silent but serious consequences of environmental damage. His words weren't about pointing fingers, they were a rallying cry for action. He stressed that recognizing these issues was just the first step. The real challenge was how we would respond. Would we ignore them? Or would we step up out of compassion and responsibility? He encouraged everyone to come together in a world that often feels divided by race, religion, and politics. He called for bridging those gaps, highlighting the strength found in our differences and the beauty of diverse cultures and traditions. Coming together for a common cause, he reminded us that we're all children of God. This simple yet profound idea was the heart of his message. No matter our differences, we share a common humanity, a divine spark that connects us all. He urged us to see the face of God in every person we meet, treating each other with the dignity and respect we all deserve. Our differences shouldn't pull us apart, they should enrich our lives. He shared inspiring stories of communities uniting, people from various backgrounds working side by side to create a better world. These stories showed the power of unity, and that when we join forces, we can achieve amazing things. He envisioned a church that welcomes everyone, no matter their background or beliefs, a place where all feel safe and accepted. He talked about how important inclusivity is in breaking down barriers and building a community where love and acceptance are the guiding principles. His message was a bright light of hope, reminding us that love can heal, bring people together, and create a brighter future for everyone. His call for unity wasn't just a casual request, it was a powerful reminder of what we can accomplish when we open our hearts and minds to one another. Pope Tagle's words really hit home, reminding us just how powerful love and forgiveness can be in a world that often feels filled with anger and division. It was clear he had a vision for a church that connects with today's world. He talked about how important science, technology, and communication are, pushing the church to be a force for good instead of holding things back. He was really passionate about climate change, calling it a moral duty, and urged everyone to take care of God's creation. He asked world leaders to step up and put aside their own interests for the sake of future generations and a more united world. As he spoke, you could feel the emotions in the crowd. Tears of joy were flowing, and strangers were hugging, all connected by a shared sense of hope. From the busy streets of Manila to the quiet villages in Africa, Pope Tagle's message broke through barriers and languages. Social media was buzzing with inspiration and gratitude, and international leaders were backing his vision and leadership. A new chapter was clearly starting. Throughout his talk, Pope Tagle shared personal stories that really brought his message of love and compassion to life. He talked about his humble beginnings in the Philippines and shared experiences from his ministry, focusing on the importance of helping those who are struggling. He even told the story of a young woman who had lost her faith, and how his kindness helped her find her way back to God. These heartfelt stories really struck a chord with people everywhere. He emphasized the importance of humility and reminded us that true leadership is about serving others. He pushed for a church that's less about hierarchy and more about inclusion, stressing the need for better communication and understanding between different faiths. He called for teamwork, pointing out that we can achieve so much more together than we can alone. Pope Tagle's speech was more than just words. It was a moment that reached into the hearts of people from all walks of life, crossing language and cultural lines. His message resonated deeply, reminding us of our shared humanity. Seeing diverse people holding hands in unity and praying together was a powerful image that captured his message perfectly. It was a call to action that inspired countless individuals to strive for a more just and compassionate world, motivating activists and volunteers to keep pushing for positive change. Images of activists rallying for a cause and community volunteers coming together highlighted the real impact of his inspiring words. His message will definitely leave a mark on future generations, with thoughtful readers and eager kids showing just how lasting his impact will be. It's a legacy that encourages future generations to embrace the values of faith, love, and hope. He reminded us that even when things get tough, there's always a glimmer of hope. The stories of people overcoming challenges and the bright smiles of those who keep pushing through really drive this point home. His message was like a light guiding us through the dark times, giving us the strength to keep going. He showed us how the church can really make a difference, shining as a beacon of hope in a world that can sometimes feel pretty gloomy. The outreach programs and the stunning light streaming through stained glass windows are great symbols of the church's positive impact. His legacy is a shout-out for all of us to be that light, spreading hope and love in our communities and beyond. As Pope Tagle wrapped up his speech, there was this amazing vibe of unity and purpose in the air. He reminded us that we're all on this journey together, just a bunch of God's kids called to love and help each other. His message was pretty straightforward. Let's walk together, hand in hand, toward a brighter future. Let us confront the myriad challenges that define our era with both courage and kindness, embracing the strength that comes from compassion and understanding. Together, we can strive to cultivate a world that is rich in peace, harmony, and mutual respect. In this journey, we have witnessed a remarkable shift in perspective regarding institutions that once seemed distant and perhaps even exclusive, such as the papacy. This ancient institution, which often felt rooted in a Eurocentric worldview, has suddenly taken on a more approachable and relatable presence. This transformation signifies a pivotal moment for the Asian Catholic community, offering them a sense of validation and recognition within the broader spectrum of the global church. It underscores their vital role and contributions, affirming that their voices and experiences matter profoundly in the tapestry of our faith. As we navigate these times, it is essential to acknowledge and celebrate the diversity within our spiritual family, fostering an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued and empowered. Let us continue to work together, drawing on our shared values to build a future that reflects the beauty of our collective humanity. Even across the vast expanse of the ocean in the United States, the reverberations of Pope Tagle's address were keenly felt. The American Catholic community, which is a vibrant tapestry woven from a rich diversity of cultures and backgrounds, discovered within his words a powerful message of inclusivity and unity. His emphasis on the importance of understanding and love resonated deeply, striking a chord with many and touching numerous hearts across the nation. In the bustling streets of cities and the quieter corners of rural towns, people from various walks of life came together to reflect on the significance of his message. It was a call to embrace one another, to celebrate differences, and to foster a spirit of compassion and togetherness that transcends the boundaries of race, ethnicity, and social status. Meanwhile, back in Europe, where the roots of Catholicism run deep and intertwine with the continent's rich history, Pope Tagle presented a refreshing perspective that invigorated the faithful. His words offered not only a renewed sense of purpose, but also a vision for a more inclusive church that welcomes all, regardless of their background. This message was particularly poignant in a region where traditional values sometimes clash with the modern-day realities of a changing society. In this context, his address served as a beacon of hope, encouraging individuals and communities alike to engage with one another in meaningful dialogue. Pope Tagle's ability to articulate a vision of love and understanding was a timely reminder that, regardless of geographical boundaries, the essence of faith can unite people in profound ways. His appeal for a more compassionate and inclusive approach to faith left an indelible mark on both sides of the Atlantic, inspiring many to reflect on their own roles in building bridges and fostering unity. His inspiring vision of a church founded on the principles of love, compassion, and understanding resonated deeply with countless individuals, igniting a spark of hope for the future of the Catholic Church. As he articulated his beliefs, it became evident that many were yearning for a spiritual community that embraced these values, and his message offered a refreshing perspective that many had longed for. Back in Vatican City, the atmosphere was electric following his inaugural address. As the crowd began to disperse, the palpable excitement was evident. Conversations buzzed with fervor as attendees shared their thoughts and feelings about what they had just experienced. His profound message of hope and unity lingered in the air, creating a sense of anticipation and marking the dawn of a new era for the Church. The echoes of his words reverberated through the ancient walls of the Vatican, infusing them with a renewed sense of purpose and vitality. It was as if the very stones of history were coming back to life, rejuvenated by the promise of a more inclusive and loving approach to spirituality. The atmosphere was charged with optimism, as many felt that they were witnessing the beginning of a transformative journey for the Catholic Church, one that would embrace the values of love and understanding at its core. The global Catholic community, characterized by its rich diversity and extensive reach across continents, witnessed a momentous occasion with the delivery of Pope Tagle's inaugural speech. This address resonated deeply with countless individuals, serving as a powerful rallying cry that emphasized the importance of togetherness and mutual understanding among all believers. In a world often divided by cultural differences and geographical boundaries, Pope Tagle's words urged the faithful to embrace their shared faith with an open heart, fostering a sense of unity that transcends borders and various cultural backgrounds. His message was not merely a call for reflection. It was a passionate call to action that inspired everyone present to actively engage in the Church's mission of love and service. Pope Tagle encouraged the congregation to embody the principles of compassion and charity in their daily lives, reminding them that their faith should be a source of strength that empowers them to reach out to others in need. By living out these values, he envisioned a vibrant community where individuals come together to support one another, irrespective of their differences. In essence, Pope Tagle's speech was a heartfelt invitation for all members of the Catholic community to unite in their commitment to living a life filled with love, service, and understanding. It was a reminder that, despite the challenges posed by a fragmented world, the bonds of faith can create a powerful force for good, inspiring people to work collaboratively towards a more compassionate and inclusive society. Pope Tagle's inaugural speech was not merely a ceremonial address. It stood as a profound testament to the extraordinary power of faith and the unifying spirit of humanity. This momentous occasion did not simply herald the beginning of his papacy. It signified the commencement of a transformative chapter in the rich and storied history of the Catholic Church. With eloquence and conviction, the Pope articulated a vision that resonated deeply with people from all walks of life, inviting them to embrace a collective journey towards hope and understanding. His words, imbued with a vibrant sense of optimism, illuminated the path ahead and left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of millions around the world. They served as a rallying cry for unity, compassion, and renewed purpose, inspiring individuals to come together in the spirit of love and collaboration. In this pivotal moment, Pope Tagle ignited a flame of hope that promised to guide the faithful and the seekers alike, setting the stage for a future brimming with possibilities and boundless potential. As his message echoed across nations and cultures, it became clear that this was not just the launch of a papacy, but the beginning of a significant movement towards a more inclusive and harmonious world.